Stand by for manual transmission in 3, 2, 1.
Well, I know the rules of the game. You play it once and you break away clean. I should've never tried VR, I know, but I had to fly just a little bit more. My friends laugh, but that's alright. I may be a fool, but I know what I like. I'm in love with the other woman. My gaming life is fine, and then a sober blew my mind.
Manus?
Oh, sorry, Karen. I know how much you hate my singing.
Yes, about that. I was going to set off the self-destruct system and shut you up for good, but I can't seem to find it. Where are we? And, am I in a body?
Yeah, about the body. I'm sorry, but those were the biggest boobs they had.
What? Why would I care about excessive chest fat?
Oh, I just thought, you know what? It's not important. And we're on Earth, by the way, in the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, nice try, jackass. Everyone knows Earth isn't a landable planet.
Dun 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 dun. 07 Commanders, Nuggets, and future flight simmers. Manus Dextra here.
And I'm Barry Allen. Today I want to talk to you about Herbalife. Check the description for my referral code.
God damn it, Barry. I told you to stop that shit. Folks, we are most definitely not here to talk about Herbalife. But you can check the description for useful links mentioned in this video. And while you're there, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more flight simulator content. It only takes a moment, but it really helps to keep your old Uncle Manus scared shitless as he flies through the Grand Canyon in VR. And if you want to support the channel even more, you can buy me a coffee. Or not. It's fine, really. In this video, we're going to talk about Microsoft Flight Simulator, how to get the game, and which edition to choose, what to expect from the game, and what type of elite commander might like it. I only started playing the game about a week before Update 5, and my overall experience has been great. Sim Update 5 has given me a big performance boost and made VR play buttery smooth and fluid on my ordinary average 10th generation i7 RTX 3070 system. As a matter of fact, it's so good that I never fly outside of VR at all anymore. Flying around Manhattan in VR in an ultralight actually gave me a bit of a panic attack. It's literally the most intense and pleasurable experience I've had in virtual reality outside of naked Skyrim. So, if you're on the fence about the game, I suggest trying it out on Game Pass. This works for either Xbox or PC, and it will give you access to the standard edition of the game. As a bonus, if you're totally new to Game Pass on PC, you'll be able to get it for $1 for the first month. The standard edition comes with 20 planes and 30 handcrafted airports for $60. Each of the other two editions adds 5 more planes and 5 more airports for an additional $30 each. I know that sounds pricey, but it's really not a bad deal if you actually want those planes and airports. Personally, I don't care about handcrafted airports at all. There are literally tens of thousands of procedurally generated airports in the game. They're actually pretty good, and you'll never know the difference unless you're using one that you regularly visit in real life. As far as planes go, what you want to fly will dictate which edition you'll want to get. The Standard Edition comes with a good mix of airliners and small general aviation craft. Right now, I'm mostly interested in small, fast aerobatic planes and bush planes. The Standard Edition comes with a few of these, and since the game allows modding, there are plenty of free and paid planes available from third-party sources as well as the in-game marketplace. I used some of the money I didn't spend on the Deluxe or Premium Deluxe Edition to purchase the plane I'm flying here. This small, relatively fast experimental kit plane is the Rutan Model 61 Long EZ. It's aerobatic and a lot of fun to fly. The bubble canopy and the 2,000-mile range make it great for sightseeing. In 1997, Dick Rutan and Mike Melville flew a pair of these around the world. Check the description for a link to the story. And since the entire world is simulated here, I'm going to do that too. If you enjoy planetary exploration in Elite, you'll probably find a lot to like here. This game will actually allow you to fly anywhere on Earth. The simulation is generated from real-world map and satellite imagery, so each location looks and feels unique. As good as it is, the world reproduction isn't perfect. Outside of airports and other handcrafted areas, you will see plenty of flaws at ground level. Mismatched textures, low-poly models, broken roadways, and the like. But this is a flight simulator after all, not a walking sim, and from a bird's eye view, the world looks pretty great most of the time. If you're a space trucker who likes to fly your Type 9 in Super Cruise for hours, you'll probably want to check out the many airliners available. There are even third-party apps that add a career mode to the game, allowing you to take jobs and earn money running your own passenger or freight transport business as you fly. Now, I haven't flown any airliners yet or tried these add-ons myself, but if that sounds like your cup of tea, check out the career mode link below. For bounty hunters, I'm sorry to say there's no shooting to be found here. But one of the main things that I love about Elite's combat is the fact that it's fun and accessible for beginners, but it still has an extremely high skill cap. After playing the game for about 3,000 hours, I still don't feel like I've mastered combat or done everything I wanted to do. Flying in Flight Simulator feels like that too. It's been about 10 years since I did any realistic flight simming, so I'm still very rusty. At this point, I'm not too bad at basic flight in small planes, flying in fair weather while navigating by visual flight rules. But I've yet to tackle the arcane mysteries of communicating with air traffic control, landing in a heavy crosswind, or flying by instruments alone. Luckily, there are plenty of flight aids and settings to make the game easy to get into, but these can be dialed back to provide a challenge for more advanced simmers. Taking off in a Cessna 152, running a traffic pattern and landing properly for the first time is extremely satisfying, and believe me, you will be doing battle with gravity the entire way. Just keep reminding yourself the throttle controls your altitude and your pitch controls speed. If you don't believe me, check out Squirrel's tutorial linked below. It changed my life, and it will change yours too. If you're totally new to flight simming, don't worry. In the latest update, flight training got an overhaul. Now each section and activity is scored and graded. I found this to be useful in helping me to identify skills I needed to work on as I spent an hour or two practicing takeoffs and landings around the training area in Sedona. Once you have the basics of flight down in the 152, you can move on to specific training for airliners, or like me, you can move on out into the open world. After basic flight training, I spent another few hours exploring the east coast of Georgia and Florida in an Icon A5. This is a light sport amphibious aircraft that's fun, simple, and easy to fly. And as an added bonus, I was able to travel around Florida in safety without exposing myself to crazy old people or the plague. Since then, I've been having a blast trying to master the long EZ. Karen was only half wrong when she said Earth wasn't a landable planet. This little booger doesn't like to slow down at all, and I've failed about 50% of my landings so far. In spite of that, I started my long, easy world tour in Hilton Head, South Carolina just a few days ago. Working my way up the coast, I visited the Wright Brothers National Monument at Kill Devil Hills, buzzed Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C., and flew around Niagara Falls. Right now, I'm working my way up the St. Lawrence River in Canada before I cross the Atlantic, with stops in Greenland and Iceland. I've also made a new rule for myself. Flights on this trip don't count if they don't end with a good landing. That's great incentive to pay attention and get it right after a 3 or 4 hour flight, and I haven't had to refly a leg yet. But I'm sure it will happen. I did almost run out of fuel sightseeing around Niagara Falls. The engine started to cough and sputter, but I managed to switch tanks just in time. Unfortunately, the fuel rats can't help you here. Anyway, those are my thoughts on Microsoft Flight Simulator. Keep an eye peeled for highlights from my world tour, as well as an updated, in-depth review of the long EZ. Until next time, simmer down and fly casual.
You will now be released from manual control. Mr. Dextra thanks you for your cooperation. You will now be released from manual control. Mr. Dextra thanks you for your cooperation.